Ms. Williams for 5 minutes for her questions.
Thank you, Chairman Musil and Ranking Member Green. Now, colleagues, I'm going to need a little help from y'all in this first portion. Raise your hand if you've been overloaded this week with urgent calls from constituents worried about how President Biden treated crypto firms. Okay, I didn't get any calls about this week. No. So raise your hand if you've gotten urgent calls from your constituents about a non-elected billionaire and his overreach in the agencies that this committee oversees and harming those most marginalized. My phones have been ringing off the hook. Exactly what I thought. My colleagues are saying the same thing. Y'all, this is our first subcommittee hearing, and it's going to be about fake oversight over the crypto policy of former President Biden. He isn't even in power anymore. Are we really going to ignore all of our constituents who've reached out with their frustrations, confusion, and concerns about Elon Musk dismantling our federal government? Getting answers for our constituents is what this subcommittee should be doing. Now look, I fully understand the importance of the crypto industry. The digital asset market is rapidly growing throughout my district, especially in my home city of Atlanta. So I get it, y'all. I want my people to thrive. The Financial Services Committee should have serious bipartisan conversations about crypto policy, but saying that President Biden's policies discriminated against crypto firms isn't a serious take. It's a distraction from the mess that my colleagues, my Republican colleagues, are creating here in DC. So, I have a better idea. If my Republican colleagues want to talk about discrimination in the banking system, let's have a real conversation about that. And I'll start. Ms. Oleshik, the city of Atlanta has one of the largest racial wealth gaps in the country. Did that just emerge over the last 4 years because of President Biden's so-called discrimination against cryptocurrency?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. And no, the wealth gap has actually been growing for years and decades now and has actually gotten worse, not better.
Exactly. I didn't think so. So, Ms. Oleshik, let me try another theory. Did the racial wealth gap emerge in part because of the long legacy of discrimination against Black and brown Americans in the banking system?
Yes, I believe that has contributed. Black and brown Americans do not feel comfortable going to traditional banks often. They feel discriminated against. So yes, I believe that is a major.
Now we're getting somewhere. Many Black and brown Americans have historically been turned away from the traditional banking system simply because of the color of their skin. Many Black entrepreneurs still have cash-only businesses. So, Ms. Oleshik, what can regulators do to address the real needs of unbanked individuals like so many throughout my district in Atlanta?
I think this is a key question, and I have a couple suggestions. First of all, there are what's called minority depository institutions, or MDIs. These are banks that are specifically focused on serving minority communities. And there have been many studies that show that Black and brown people who go into a bank where they see people that they feel comfortable with, they often, loan approvals are better and they have a better experience at a bank. So encouraging more of the MDIs to open. Unfortunately, they're on a downward trend now, so that's something that we need to do. And also expand diversity in public and private leadership, both at banks and at the agencies, to ensure that the policies are serving everyone.
So while my Republican colleagues want to discuss getting bank accounts for cryptocurrency, I want fair policies. I want it across the board. But I wonder more about getting bank accounts for the people in my district who remain unbanked. I was once unbanked myself. Unfortunately, recent data shows that 11% of Black American households are still unbanked, compared to 2% of white households. So, Ms. Oleshik, will attacking and getting rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs throughout the government help close the racial wealth gap or widen this divide?
Oh, it will absolutely widen the divide. It's not going to help at all.
So thank you so much for this conversation today. I hope that we can continue to make sure that while we are not only looking out to make sure that cryptocurrency firms and everyone who is seeking to thrive in this industry have access to bank accounts, that we're also looking out for those people that we were sent here to serve, like the people in my district in Atlanta. It's clear that we have a lot of work to do in this Congress, but if we're going to do it, we have to talk about the real problems facing real people. Thank you, Mr. Chair.